And let's take all our drums now and let's send them to another bus. And we're going to put on a little bit of parallel compression. Now, what I'm going to do is actually copy across my compressor from the kick channel. I want to keep the same compressor groove going. And we can be really brutal here with the settings because we're going to be dialing it in parallel. So again, this is just super hype kind of control. We're just really dialing in hype. Now we can, with the drums, we can kind of pick little areas we want to work with. So we could have a little kind of low shelf. Maybe a little dip here. Little high shelf. Let's put this into linear phase because we're working on a bus and we don't want to introduce some kind of phase distortion. Now let's create some real kind of further hype here by using, I'm going to use this fat effects from Logic. This used to be Camel Fat from Camel Audio, which is a really cool plugin that I used to use, and then Logic Apple bought it. Let's use this tube setting on here. It creates that real gnarly kind of distortion. This may be a little bit too much. Hear the size that adds. Let's actually push this EQ a bit further. Just making the drums really big. Okay, and then the compressor. Now at the moment it's really responding to the kick. What we could do is take away a little bit of the low frequencies and it will respond more to some of the other drums. So now it's responding to the hats as well, and you can hear the groove change when I bring this in and out. So with the compressor responding to to all the frequencies and therefore the kick being the loudest, it's kind of more of a sidechain kind of pump. But with the compressor responding to more the mid-range, it starts to bring the hats into play and more the clap because the kick's not got as much energy there, and it starts to feel more eighth note, 1 and 2, and so I kind of count what I'm saying. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. think I prefer it like that actually. It's a bit more rhythmic. And no parallel. So it's just crazy hype, and we can decide how much we want to dial in of that. Now with the bass, we can actually tie the bass into the same parallel chain if we want. Or we could create our own parallel chain, parallel compression setting for the bass. So we'll put that in here. Let's copy across our EQ setting. And then our effects stem, what have we got here? Okay, let's send our effects to its own channel. So I'm just trying to think about what I was going to do there. We'll place the parallel compression setting. Add it a bit more extreme. Am I sending it a level? No. Let's send our little bass synth part. Going to copy across that compressor. Okay, let's copy across. Let's try this actually. I quite like the distortion setting I had for that. So let's just like crank that. And we'll dial that in. We'll compress that essentially. Okay, let's bring in our vocals, and yep, we're going to copy across the compressor from our vocal channel. I don't like that synth thing I did. I'm going to take that Saturn off. So, we're a little bit too sizzly on the drums. Oh, whoops, don't want to do that. Let's do a, can we do this? Yeah, I think we can. Let's do a gradual, gentle, high cut. Because it's sounding a bit harsh. don't want that tube setting on there. It's kind of slamming it a bit too much. Okay, so something's a bit too much on here, I think. I'm going to try making that release a little bit longer. No, I'll leave it at 60. I think it maybe made it sound a bit smoother, but let's try that. Okay, so maybe I could try not putting as many of the hats through the parallel chain. Yeah, that's working nicely. Okay, so we've got, let's try bringing these in and out. So, whoops. So that was no saturation and no parallel effects, parallel processing. Saturation. More height. And then the parallel change. -7. Let's take out our distortion, our parallel chains. So, peaking -6, bring them back in. So think about the volume, perceived volume you had there. So we're a dB quieter in terms of peak level, and this is how much louder it sounds. Now, I think I've gone too far here. I think this is too distorted sounding. So let me just try and have a look at dialing it back slightly. I think that sounded good. So we've got things pretty nicely dialed in now in terms of what we'd be looking at for kind of a master. So let's head on and do some mastering. We'll talk a bit about the thought process of mastering and talk a bit about a mastering channel. We're using a lot of isotope plugins, which I use a lot for mastering. So let's dive into that.